You are listening to Best in Seattle Real Estate with host Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420. This podcast is for real estate agents. Tina interviews the best of the best agents in the greater Seattle market. Learn strategies and the mindset needed to be your best. If you're looking to take your real estate business to the next level, this show is for you.
Welcome to Best in Seattle Real Estate Podcast, sponsored by Hubbard Radio Seattle. I am your host and local mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell. My show is with real estate agents for real estate agents. My lineup is exclusive and reserved for the best of the best in the greater Seattle market based on closed transactions in the last 12 months. If you are a real estate agent looking to level up your game, you are in the right place. My guest today is here to share what she has learned over the years that has taken her to the top in the real estate field. Now in studio, Sandi Tampa of Sandi Tampa Real Estate Windermere. Sandi has closed 43 transactions in the last 12 months, and that earns her the title of industry leader. And she is here today to share her secrets to success. Data provided and verified by MMI, Mobility Mobile Intelligence. Sandi, thank you for joining my show today.
Thanks for having me, Tina. It's an honor to be able to be part of this group. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've had you on every platform, and it's a privilege for the radio show that I had for 11 years, The Money Hour, Coffee with a Superstar, which was reserved for the best of the best, and now my new podcast. So excited to showcase you in all the platforms that I've had over the years. I would also like to give a shout out and a big thank you to my producer with Hubbard Radio, Benny.
Oh, hi there, Tina.
I was waiting to see where you were at over there.
I'm hiding out. You know what producers do.
I know how you are. Lots of stuff going on behind the scenes for sure. I could not do it without him. So Benny, thank you so much.
Welcome.
So before we get started, I would like to share a little bit about Sandi. Sandi is committed to continuous improvement and mastery on her profession. She believes that her role as a real estate agent is to guide her clients through the entire buying or selling process. Sandi helps her clients understand each step of the transaction so that you can make smart, educated decisions that are best for your priorities and your goals. Over 15 years of experience in the real estate space added to her 10 years of engineering, sales, and marketing experience provide her the analytical and business skills critical to understanding the market. Her systematic approach ensures every detail and is handled smoothly, and her understanding of industry trends positions your home appropriately in today's market. Sandi will skillfully negotiate for you before doing and after each transaction. So Sandi, as I start out my interview, my first question I'd love to ask you is, where does majority of your business come from, and how do you foster those relationships?
So I'm fortunate that I've been doing this for so long. So I have the luxury of having a big book of past business, and I would say 80% of my business comes from past clients. So that is either past clients doing repeat business or past clients referring me business. And I would say that's about 50-50. And then how do I foster it? So I am not a transactional agent. I get very involved with my clients. I get to know them, and because the more I can get to know them, the more I can help them. And we develop a relationship during the process, and I stay in touch with them. And I have systems and processes for doing that. And it's, I think the key to it is that it's genuine. So I do have a system that reminds me in the first 6 months, like a 3-day, a 5-day, a 2-week, a 1 month, a 3 month, a 6 month call and check in. And I think the key to making that work is, first of all, have a system to do it, but then second of all, be genuine in your interaction with them. So for instance, if you know when they're moving, just making sure you're listening to what they say, and then when you're checking back in with them, that it's genuine and organic to what what they're doing.
Yeah. And, you use the word that you are privileged, but as you know, Sandi, it's really about the hard work, which you talked about, to foster, build those relationships, and then to be able to maintain them. And as you shared with the agents that are listening today, it's all about the system, strategic system on when and how you're staying in contact with those clients, and then bringing in the genuine touch points and how you're connecting with them. So really it is simple, but it's been proven to be difficult because majority do not do it. And that's why there's a 1 percentile in the industry, and they give an 80-20 rule. It's really shifted to a 90-10 rule. So I don't know where the 1% goes in 90-10, but 10% is doing 90% of the business. And that means 90% of you that are listening to the show, you're only getting 10% of the production out there. So it's simple, but it's difficult because majority don't do it. But once you build the system, and I think that's the difficulty, it's actually building the system and then staying persistent, consistent with your high touch follow up and follow through plan. And that is why Sandi is the best of the best in our local real estate market. So Sandi, as you think about the future of your business, what do you see? What's that look like?
Yeah, so I love what I do, and I feel very blessed, and I do feel privileged, and but I still have fire in my belly. So I'm still want to get after it, but I also I want to travel, and I don't want to work as hard, and I have my business to a level where I feel like it's at this. I don't necessarily want to grow it more than what I have right now. If I can maintain, last year I hit a huge milestone. And if I can keep that level of business where it is, then it feels like it's actually, I don't want to say effortless, but it's got good momentum and builds. I keep making a circle with my hand. It's just, that's how I picture it in my head. And so my goal is to better hone in and get not better team members, have team members that have a role that they're enjoying and they're growing and they're making money, and where I can keep the same level of business, but maybe not work as many hours, if that's possible for me.
And that's so great, Sandi. So the first of being the best of the best is getting your business there. And I like how you say fire in your belly, because it does take that. It takes passion and fire in order to get to the level of business that you have. And the goal really in being the best of the best is to work hard, but to be able to play just as hard. And how you do that, that's really what true success is, right, Sandi?
Absolutely. And it's been a fun year. I've done so many cool trips, and I want to keep it up, and it's been super fun.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned what the key of that is. It's building a team and being able to delegate. So if you can be the high level of the business, and that's continuing to be the face of the business, and build on the front end, the process and everything that takes really a lot of the detailed and time work can be done and delegated to your team. So that's awesome. Seeing that in the future. And it sounds like you're already living that space. You just want to continue, maintain the business and continue to build on that quality of business and life.
Yes, correct. And I will say building a team has probably been the hardest part of my journey. I've been working on it since 2020. And when I had my first official employee, and it's been a journey, and it's harder than you think. And I've made some missteps, the pandemic hit, and it's been, it's easier said than done. And I feel like I take 2 steps forward and then 1 step back, but that's success, right? It's never a straight line. It's a circuitous route, but it's been more challenging than I think anybody probably thinks it is.
Yeah, well, a shout out to people looking at building your team. I think the key to that is really doing a DISC profile and just knowing the difference of your team roles. If you've got somebody in sales, they need to be a DI. If you've got somebody in operations, they've got to be an SC. And if you're hiring the right person, it's going to be a lot easier process. And then you've got to have a process and system for them to follow so that you can delegate and know that they have the process and system to be successful. So coming up next on the Best in Seattle podcast, continued conversation with Sandi Tampa of Sandi Tampa Real Estate Windermere.
So have you ever had a buyer's mortgage decline in the middle of closing? Most lenders do not pre-underwrite loans. They require a purchase and sale contract before an underwriter reviews the loan. This can cause stress for all parties involved. Highlands Residential Mortgage does pre-underwrite. In addition, Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, offers a personal $10,000 seller financing guarantee. This insurance policy to the seller and is not subject to the buyer's ability to secure financing. If the buyer's loan is declined and the financing cannot be secured, Tina personally pays the seller $10,000. This guarantee is only subject to the seller or property issues. Your buyers will stand out next to their competition. For more information, go to tinamitchellteam.com. That's tinamitchellteam.com.
Welcome back to Best in Seattle Real Estate Podcast, sponsored by Hubbard Radio Seattle. I am your host and local mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell. Continued conversation with Sandi Tampa of Sandi Tampa Real Estate Windermere. Are you a real estate agent looking for that one thing to take your business to new heights? Sandi is here to motivate you to be your best. You will learn what Sandi is doing and how you can implement her best practices into your real estate business. Today, Sandi is sharing her strategies and the mindset needed to be the best in the industry. Sandi is here to inspire other real estate agents to level up their real estate business. Sandi, thank you again for being here with me today.
My pleasure. I'm enjoying this. Thanks, Tina.
Yeah. So Sandi, what is the single most important reason you see success in your business?
Ooh, that's a complicated one. I think that, and I got this advice early on, is kind of letting go of the outcome. And so there's this book, and I've got it right here, The Go-Giver. And I have kind of that mentality of, and I read the book so long ago, so I probably morphed exactly what it means. But in my business, I just give, and let go of the outcome and know that if I do the right thing and I work hard, it'll come back to me in one way or the other. Maybe not this particular transaction, but it always comes back. And it's coming also from the heart of a teacher, where I truly want my clients to be educated and informed so they know they're making the right decisions for them. I just recently had a client refer to me as, like, make an analogy of like having a good mechanic is you need somebody who's going to tell you that, no, you don't need to do this, or no, that's a bad decision, instead of just jumping in and doing the work. And it was funny because I actually ended up talking, he based on that conversation too, he was going to sell and buy, and he's going to rent and rent. So he's going to rent his current place. So I made no money on the transaction, but I was able to further my relationship with him. And it was my absolute pleasure. And I was glad to be part of his team.
Yeah, when you come from a place of contribution and truly come from a place to giving to others, you're absolutely nailed it, Sandi. Everything comes back over time. So, and that's really what service is all about, is we're here to serve others with our expertise, and through that process we'll thrive. So Sandi, what hack have you developed to stay focused and productive in your day to day?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I would say that the hack, it's a little bit like parenting. If any of you have kids out there where I've been a parent now for 20 years and you never master it because it's always a moving target. So what I'm doing now, and if you're watching this, you can see I've got this giant whiteboard in my back and behind me, and I've got my goals on there. So my goals are 4 transactions a month, 3 leads a week. I've got what I have in escrow up there. And then in the top right corner, I have my calls, my face-to-faces, and my notes. And I write those. I have my team member update those. So I have a CRM and we update those numbers daily, so I can come in and see that, and that's what we're focused on. And it really helps just keep me focused, which is huge. And I'm competitive with myself, so I want to hit my numbers.
And that's so great. It is a competition only between me and me, or
Yes.
you and you. That's who we compete against. And I love the visual when you've got something that visual you can look at and manage. And then you also mentioned a CRM, client relationship manager. It's absolutely important to have a database that keeps you on track. We talked earlier about systems and processes. You can't have a consistent system and process unless you have a database to manage that. So great shout out there, Sandi. So how do you market your business? We talked a little bit about staying in contact with your clients, but what is your key to marketing success?
Yeah, and I think with marketing, I am very intentional and deliberate on my marketing. I have 3 platforms. I have social media, I have print marketing, so like mail marketing, and then I have events and promotions is what I call them. And just trying to, like, once a quarter do something fun. And so my social media is I post every single day, and every single weekday, and I'll have a kind of a theme that I try to stick to for each day. So evidence of success is on Thursdays. I try to do something kind of easy and fun on Mondays, and that sort of thing. And just the whole idea is here I am, and just trying to keep it real and authentic to myself. Then my mail marketing, I have a newsletter that automatically goes out once a month. And so I send 2 mailer pieces a month. One is super easy. It's on auto. It's the Windermere newsletter. I customize the message every month, which doesn't take long, but then I'll do a postcard, or I try to do something fun once a quarter, like Cinco de Mayo. I send out little glasses with a margarita on them. 4th of July, sending out tattoos, things like that. And I think that's it. It's a lot, but that's what I do.
Well, and the key to what Sandi is sharing is its consistency.
Yes.
It has a purpose, and it's consistent, follows within who you are and the brand. And I like how you talked about print, or also known as snail mail, because if you're listening to the show right now, I want you to think about, when is the last thing that you received something consistently on a regular basis from any one of the people that is there to support you financially, whether it's real estate, mortgage, insurance, your CPA, because that is key. People aren't getting those anymore. A lot of people are doing social media, and I'm a believer. Whatever you do, you don't have to do everything. You just have to do it consistent. So if you're like, oh gosh, I don't want to be involved in social media, I've been recognized in the top 1% in my space as well as mortgage, and I'm not consistent anything on social media outside of posting some things on my Facebook page. So whatever you do, it just needs to be consistent. And you have to have different avenues of doing it. But I think print and snail mail is key, because you don't see a lot of that out there. So it's going to stand out. And then I also like how you mentioned events, Sandi. If you don't have the money or the resources to do a full event, invite people to other events. If you're going to a art show or something, invite people and have them meet up somewhere with you. And it's not the key of people showing up for the events or what you're inviting them to. It's the actual invite itself. I was just thinking about you, and I'm going to be at the concert in Newcastle that's coming up. I'll save a spot if you're available. I've got a spot for a few people, so it's that invite. So hopefully you've heard some great things from Sandi and been able to take some notes. And Sandi, I just really appreciate you being here today and being willing to share how you've been able to be so successful consistently year after year. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina.
And to watch more of my video recording with Sandi or other industry leaders in the real estate space, just go to bestinseattlerealestate.com, or you can catch my show on my YouTube channel or Facebook page. Tina Mitchell, your host and local mortgage expert. Until next time.
Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, is a licensed loan originator with Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited. The views expressed by the speakers on the preceding program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited.